Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, please have a little delve if you're curious. And I am going to start a new series of videos. And this is a series of videos literally called My Favourite Books. And I'm actually being prompted by watching a video this morning by Pulp Mortem SF. And they did an awesome video that made me laugh a lot, but actually also it was just so wonderful to see somebody doing a review of a Robert Sheckley book. It doesn't happen very often. Robert Sheckley is an award-winning science fiction author that's had a huge impact on science fiction, and it's so rare to find him being mentioned on here. So I did a video of my Robert Sheckley collection, and then I did one on the State of Civilization, a book review. But I'm going to continue to do Robert Sheckley videos, but they're so rare. So it was so great to see him doing it. He's a really interesting channel. I think he's one of those channels that if you get a sense of humour, then you'd love the videos. And if you didn't, you'd think he was just annoying. So check him out. He really reminds me of my mate, actually, that I work with. So that's quite funny. The amount of times he says things that I think, oh, he would have said that. But yeah, really good that he mentioned it. And actually, to be honest, I don't always agree with him. So when I saw that he'd reviewed this book, I was thinking, oh, I hope he likes it. But I thought, well, I'll watch it, see what he says about it. And I was so pleased to see him raving about it, because he's weird. Robert Sheckley's weirdly underrated, because even though he is rated highly in the history of science fiction, he doesn't really get talked about anymore. And when he does, I have heard somebody just describe him as a bit of fluff. But he's a very intelligent writer. He's just very funny as well. So there's a lot of humour in his writing, but he's very intelligent with what he writes. But his books are completely mad. And they're a huge influence on what I write as well, because what I try to write with my fiction, my poetry is very serious, but my fiction is quite a lot like Robert Sheckley's style, I think. So he's definitely had influence. And infamously, it's been claimed many times, and I believe it to be true, that Douglas Adams was really influenced by this book when he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, really influenced. Really. He claims he never read it, so yeah, but it's I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so it's fine, and it is different enough, but there are many similarities to Dimension of Miracles. Dimension of Miracles is, as I said, written by Robert Sheckley, and it's worth checking out Robert Sheckley's stuff in general. I think he's an absolutely amazing writer. He's easily one of my favourite writers, and I just had an absolute ball collecting his stuff over the years. And he's quite consistent as well, especially in his novels. It's usually one character going on this like mad odyssey around the universe, trying to solve a problem or get somewhere, or that kind of thing, with lots of weird characters in it. But this came out in 1977, and I'll read you the back to give you a sense of the plot, and we'll go from there. So Thomas Carmody is an intergalactic sweepstakes winner. So when Thomas Carmody wins the jackpot in the intergalactic sweepstakes, he's whisked off to galactic headquarters to claim his prize in person. You can see there's a pulpy element to this already, like galactic headquarters. Clearly, what does that mean? But it's just brilliant. But when he arrives in outer space, the only problem is, how does he get back to Earth? So he didn't have any kind of contingency plan for getting back. The Odyssey home takes him through the most extraordinary experiences on extraordinary worlds, populated by extraordinary people, and overall looms the terror. This is an extra bit he put in the book, which is mental. Overall looms the terror of his personal predator, a monster of many guises, designed and created specifically for devouring Carmodies. So there's this sort of unknown, essentially death, hunting him through the book. and he's a shapeshifter as well, and it's just a really cool element to the book, as well as the madness of him trying to get home and not knowing where he's going, and all these different places he goes to, and all these people he interacts with. It's a lot of fun. It's very short. It's a really fun read. I really love it. It's not actually my favourite Robert Sheckley book, but I'll get there eventually in this my favourite books series. Yeah, Dimension of Miracles is a lot of fun. If you like humour in science fiction, if you like humour in fiction, then give him a go. It's such a good book, and very influential. And just a little extra note, I'll just say about me calling this series my favourite books. I could have called it Bookshelf Essentials, but just a little heads up, I've already done a series of videos called My Bookshelf Essentials, but concentrated on history books, and they're starting in January, and I've done videos on 20 books. So you'll see that coming through in 2025. So hopefully you'll enjoy those, and they're just history books. So for me, concentrating on fiction to separate them from the Bookshelf Essential series, this series of videos is going to be called My Favourite Books. So this is one of my favourite books. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I've read it a few times. The one that is my favourite Robert Sheckley book is one of the most reread books in my collection. I've read it so many times, but this is a lot of fun. So, Dimension of Miracles, Thomas Carmody going around the galaxy, trying to find home, and just finding the really kind of almost sometimes surreal, often farcical, confusing, outrageously ridiculous stuff happening in this book. All right, let me know in the comments below if you have any interaction with Robert Sheckley or this book, or any other things like it, if you get a sense of what it's like. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay curious.
Paint me a picture